Kia ora, bros and girls, welcome back to the channel. So we're down to the final boss of variant 1 and the final mini as well. Now a lot of people struggle with this Hulk, a lot of people struggle with this last boss, and the problem here with this Hulk is he's on an aspect of war node. That means the longer the fight goes on, the more damage he does. He goes unblockable. The worse your block proficiency rating is, and you basically have to rely around skill, around intercepting, around doing a lot of damage, or you can just do a lot of burst damage really early on and then not have to deal with the rest of it, because you got about 50 seconds to where he's in the normal range and you can do a lot of damage. So we come in, same idea with the thing. This guy's not stun immune or anything, so once we've got those stacks, we're able to come in here, throw that SP2, and we can chain 5 medium, light, medium, 5, and he's done. It's really that simple. Thing takes this fight that's really difficult, that you got to think about a lot of counters for, and with the synergy you can easily one-shot this guy like he was just, you know, just like an arena fight. Then this final boss is really annoying. He's got fisticuffs, he's got EMP modification, which affects a lot of people. He's got limber as well. Generally the go-to advice has been use Gulk or a stacked version of Electro, somebody shock immune, but luckily Thing is shock immune, and he can do a tremendous amount of damage. So this fight, while it lasts longer, and it's probably the longest of the variant fights, it's not going to last too long, right? And again, we're using the same strategy that we've used for the other two bosses. We don't parry early on, we take a lot of hits, so we're up to 9 indestructible charges there, and then we're looking at getting to our SP3, throwing it and doubling that damage, doubling down on that damage, and then just cycling through this guy's SP1 and trying to play him a little bit stun immune, just cycling through the SP1, evading it, and going in back in with the openings. You don't really want to parry this guy. You could parry it when he is regenning if you want to, but I found with Thing is you do so much damage anyway that that's not going to matter, and I will only really parry him if I kind of need to. And having that Heimdall synergy as a second is really nice, because it saved my ass so many times, because often on these bosses they'll get an annoying evade, a random RNG just at like the worst possible time, right? And EMP modification doesn't do anything to you because Thing is actually shock immune, so he doesn't take any shock damage from that. So it takes this boss that's been frustrating and you've had to have counter for, and people have had to think about and have had to spend a lot of units on, and then if you combine that with the right synergy and a tiny little bit of skill, you're able to one-shot both of them without any revives or any units. And these I'm not even boosted here. I'm not boosted, I'm not using suicides. This is just a base team. It's actually more around regen than damage. And so here's another snapshot. This time I don't get off as many charges as I'd like. I normally try to get like 8 to 10. I only got 5 here, so I'm not doing as much damage to this Hulk, but you'll be able to see that it still really doesn't matter too much. It's just about getting to, once I've got those charges, I want to get to 20 rock stacks and I want to fire off that SP2. So I'm going to take one more parry coming up here. Just evade that SP2 first. Try get a parry. Or maybe I give up on giving a parry at this point, probably because he's going unstoppable because of that aspect of war, and also because he's going to do a lot of damage to me. So instead of going for the SP2 and the chain stun, I go instead for the SP3, try to do a lot of damage and try to just intercept him instead, and that way I can evade the SP2. I'm unblockable, unstoppable, but he's also unstoppable, and so I'll just let him trigger that indestructible, and then it's just about intercepting. So this fight, once it gets to this aspect of war, it requires a little bit of skill, because you can remove the aspect of war if you intercept it, and you need a bit of damage. Now clearly in the Hulk fight, the key is to get hit early on and build as many charges as you can. The more charges you can start off with, the easier that fight becomes, because then you can throw one SP2 and out damage him. If you only have 3, 4, 5 charges, it's going to be a bit of a longer fight. So and it's the same with the Ultron fights. The more indestructible charges you can get to begin with, I like to go for 7 or more. In this one we get 10, which is fantastic, because now we can do a lot of damage, and this fight is going to be really easy. If I was at 3 or 4, then you're in for a much longer fight, which means a lot more chance for things to go wrong, like an evade to proc when you don't want, or you run out of limbers, or you get clipped at an inconvenient time. So we're doing pretty well here, checking pretty well. We're going to push him to the SP1. We're going to evade his SP1. We're going to throw our SP3. And then we're just going to go in and do a heck of a lot of damage with Thing and finish him off. Just keep in mind that this is the Variant 1 Chapter 3 boss. This is probably the toughest variant boss you're going to see. And he's got nearly 500,000 life. And we're just beating him like he's a punching bag. So that goes to show you how much and why I love having Things so much, and he is just fantastic all around for all variant content. So hopefully this helped you out, guys. If it did, if you liked it, if it impressed you, do like, subscribe, and help support the channel. And we're gonna stay tuned for more content of the other variants. We're gonna do the same kind of breakdown for every single variant: variant 2, variant 3, variant 4, just like this. All right, kakite ano, bros and girls.